most of what I have gotten written down has already been said. I think the parks is number one. People that come here, move into Pekin, are just amazed. They've lived in much bigger cities and just compliment us about our park system. I think overall, with the last couple years' economy, the city is financially well positioned. As was alluded to before, we're not in the debt situation some nearby communities are. We've weathered the storm, so to speak. We haven't grown as far as adding to our police or fire departments or anything. We have not laid off. I know some cities 2 years ago were laying off street department, firefighters, police officers, etc. 2 and 3 years ago in Illinois. This is due to the staff and the planning ahead for finances. I think our housing market, we have from starter homes to between $500,000 and $1 million homes in Pekin, any choice a person wants. I think the perception that we are not like other communities where you live here and work in another community, I think that's changed. A lot of people do live in Pekin, work in Bloomington, Lincoln, Peoria, etc. That wasn't the case a few years ago. Our crime rate is very low. The size in general, we're not real big with that problem that would bring, and we're not very small at the same time. And in general, people, I think, I don't care what charity or what nonprofit wants to get something going, they will find the people in this town that will go out of their way to give of their time and their finances. I think that's a very big attribute to this community. We are a caring community. Thank you.
Cody Hendricks. Our positives have already been said by a lot of people, but our park district, we have one of the greatest park districts in this region. Our schools, I believe that our schools are a great asset to this community. We've got a great hospital, and we've got a great police and fire department because we have low crime and just excellent workers who work there. Some of our negatives, however, in my opinion, I don't believe the city's transparent enough. A few years back, we were rated as one of the least transparent cities around by a magazine. I can't remember the name of it now, but it was rated on the number of freedom of informations that were turned into the city. So people are really trying to get that information, and the only means to do it is through freedom of information requests. Another thing, I think one of our negatives is the budget. I mean, we're not, so to say, going into debt right now, but we're running a deficit. And I think that we need to start to curtail that so that we don't run out of reserves in the near future and have nothing to fall back on. We really need to get that budget balanced. And on top of that, we've got, I think it was around $46 million worth of unpaid pension liabilities that need to be paid, and that's just as much a debt as the budget could be in the future. Our business relations, I think that we need to be working towards working better with businesses, really going out there and telling them about these positives that we have in this community and trying to get them to come here.
30 seconds.
And lastly, I think that we as a city have become realtors in the sense that we are buying a bunch of land and then doing nothing with it. I think that we need to sell those properties and get those properties back on the tax roll so that we start generating the revenue to balance that budget. Thank you.
John McCabe. I would echo what everyone says about the high school. Of course, my views are a little prejudiced on that point. But I do teach in the social science area, but I do have to give an awful lot of credit to the vocational area. We've got a building and trades program that is just really phenomenal. If you've gone to see the open houses, if you've seen what these young people have done, and they've worked with the skilled craftsmen in the area, they do a lot of collaborative work there with instructors, and it's really a worthwhile program. We have young people coming out of there that are ready to go into good, high-paying, skilled jobs. And I think that's quite an asset. We have a lot of those things going on that are very commendable to high school as well. And that's just one of the assets that the community has. I think that we also have a very, very well-trained professional police and fire department. These are people who are called to do work that a lot of people don't want to do. They are what sometimes referred to as first responders. They have to put their life on the line, unfortunately, time to time. Or they have to come to places like my home where people do stupid things. I'm not an electrician, but I think I am. My wife says I'm either going to electrocute myself or burn the house down, one of the two. But the public servants in the city of Pekin, for a community of size, do a very good job. And I think that we need to stop and think about that every time we wonder about what's going on on in this town, what's wrong with it. These are your neighbors. These are people that we all go to school with, go to church with, we work with, and they're doing the best that they can to serve the rest of us. Do we have some negatives? Of course we do. All I got to do is take a look at the roads and the sidewalks here in the community. There's some real need for repair there. We've all heard people talk about trying to bring businesses into town. But somebody who's going to come to Pekin and wants to open a business and takes a look at our streets and our sidewalks is going to think, how's anybody going to get to my business? Why would I build a business here? So we definitely need to make some improvements in our infrastructure. We also we've heard talk about from several people here about the buildings and the empty lots in the community. It's unfortunate that we've had to take over some of those lots for a variety of different reasons, and it is hoped that they could be moved off of the public roads in the near future. Again, improving the roads, improving the sidewalks, making the community more attractive to outsiders would get them to come in and buy up some of those properties and start putting them to good use. We've got to work better at trying to bring in head of household jobs.
We're ready to roll on question 4, aren't we?
That's right.
You guys are ready.